What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to the YouTube video. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today's video, we're going to be covering a couple more features. Like in the last video, I explained how to do rotation, car choice, scoring, passing, and admitting when you're wrong. So today's video, we're going to be covering settings, boost, chat, warming up, and overcommitting. By the next video, I plan to cover double committing, how to air dribble, and defending your goal. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like this series. And yeah, let's go. Hammer Squad, we out. Alright, so the key features we want to focus on today's videos are setting. Are your settings correct? Do you feel like you're comfortable with your button layout? Second, chat. Is chat getting annoying? Are people what is saving too much? Third, warming up. Are you warming up correctly? Fourth, shooting. How do you practice that? How do you practice shooting? Fifth, saving. Are you finding yourself missing too many saves? And sixth, boost control. Do you find you waste too much boost? Do you think that you're wasting boost when you don't have to waste it? That's what we want to cover in today's video. So with that being said, let's get right into the video and let me show you how to do this. Alright, so first things first is settings. You want to go back down all the way to the bottom and click settings. And this is my gameplay settings. You can see I'm currently in Europe thing, it doesn't matter. Second is camera settings. I recommend you to put it at 109 and field of view and so on. This is just copy those settings, see how you feel. Make sure you turn inverse swivel off. Control settings, try these settings. If they're too sensitive, tweak them with your own like magic powers, tweak them how you feel comfortable with. Interference, these are a couple settings I would recommend you to stay on and turn off. Whether I forgot the default settings, but if you have default settings, just try to make them as similar as is possible. It will make your gameplay way easier and way smoother. Video settings, I recommend you put them on performance instead of quality and low intensity, and turn vertical sync off. It might be a little bit choppy, but it's gonna be worth it in the long run. You don't feel like you got a FPS boost, and it's gonna be good. Audio, you don't have to worry too much about audio. And chat, we're going to talk about that next, so let's go. Alright, so we want to go to settings and go to the chat tab. If you find like people are already saving too much or being toxic and you feel like that's distracting you from your own gameplay, make sure you do this. Go to quick chat and turn that off to only with teammates. That way you can only hear or see your teammates chat. And then for match chat, turn that also to teammates only. What that means is basically if someone types something in chat that's not from your team, you won't see it. If someone says what is saved that's not from your team, you won't see it. You will only see people from your team. If in party chat, leave it as everyone, just in case you're trading and you want to talk to other people. Just leave it open, that way you can talk to other people. In the meantime, turn the other two off for the match and the game. That way if you don't get distracted, you can just focus on your gameplay. Alright, so for the warming up part, I recommend you guys to try the training packs. Training packs are super helpful when it comes down to like practicing and like choosing what you want to do in the future. So I recommend you to go to the customs tab and just look at the name. Based on the name, you can see I normally just try the ultimate warm-up one. That's one of the code is right there to the right. Favorite it, that way you don't always got to be searching up. That's a code right there, and that's it. For the shooting, I recommend you to do the warming up part, because it's really good to like warm up your mechanics and to practice. There's a couple I'm just practicing here. It's the first it's actually before in match, so I'm kind of rusty right here. First I just hopped on, and I recommend you to do this too. Like, look how rusty I am. I just hopped on, so I'm pretty trash at the game right now. I just gotta warm up and practice, and so on. That's about it for the shooting part. I'm just gonna let this clip run for a little bit, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Alright, for the second clip, we want to talk about the saving shots for the warm-up part. It's not only shooting, you also have your safe shots, and that's just two of the many things you have to do to warm up. But I would recommend you to focus on this too. In the meantime, I'll talk about more in-depth topics in the future, so in future videos. So I recommend you to go into saving pack and training pack and try this out. To be honest, I'm just practicing saving parts, like I'm missing, I'm just redoing until I feel comfortable doing the shot and saving the shot. Like I said, most of these things are come with practice, but also if you don't practice them, you won't evolve, and you won't even get close to being accurate or even precise at them at doing them. So yeah, let's go. Alright, so next we want to talk about overcommitting. Do you find yourself overcommitting with your teammate a lot? Like this, I want you to see that part. I overcommitted with my teammate and I took his boost. You can rewind to see that. I took his boost and it was boostless, and he missed the shot because he didn't have boost. I took it. And I'm just once again overcommitting, even though I know I don't have the shot. Simple things you gotta admit sometimes. This is the second clip I want to show you guys that when you overcommit a lot, it can cost you a goal. This was in the tournament. I think this was semifinals. We won like 3 or 4 matches before this, I'm pretty sure. So it was 4-4, it was tied, and we were in overtime. And as you can see throughout this whole clip, like right there, I overcommitted with my teammate, and my teammate overcommitted with me too. So as you watch this, you probably like, why are you overcommitting so many times? Like that's one before, and there's gonna be a couple times that you'll see that I'll overcommit with my teammate. Like that's one overcommit. That was a bad challenge. If they were accurate, they probably scored that. So that's 2 times they could have scored and missed. And then here's the 3rd time they could have scored and missed. I overcommit my teammate. I bump him, and then this is the last time. They gave us 3 times, and the 3rd one they scored, and it was an L from there on. Next thing we want to focus on is boosting. Do you find yourself boosting too much, or like wasting your boost and not having enough boost when you get to their side of the goal or net? I want you to look at this gameplay. I felt like I did pretty decent with the boost control. I didn't do too well. Like I said, I still have to practice a lot. But I feel like I did pretty decent with the boost control. Maybe if you watch this clip and just pay attention to the boost in the bottom right, and see how I boost and like slowly boost, and yes, when I get to the back 2 wheels, once I see that trail down, or I know I'm going supersonic speed, I'm good, and I slow down a little bit. Like look, I stop, slow down a little bit, and I'm boosting, and so on. Just pay attention to that stuff when you're in a match. The higher level you go up in Rocket League, the more things you have to pay attention to. It might not seem like it, but it's the more you pay attention to something in the game, the more possible it is for you to win. So like I said last time, you have to pay attention to rotation. Like that's something you always have to think about. You can't, it's going to happen without you thinking about it. You have to think about that in the game. You have to think about passing it in the game, and like, okay, my teammates switch, so I'm gonna pass it because I don't have a shot. Like that's simple things you have to think about in the game. It's not just going to happen out of nowhere. You have to think about that stuff. People, RCS pros, people that do this stuff, they act like they don't think about it, but that's the whole point. If you want to get to that level, you have to think about it. Today's video, we covered the settings, boost, shot, warming up, and overcommitting. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next video, we're gonna be talking about double committing. I'm gonna teach you how to air dribble and defending. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go to the 3rd episode of this series. Let's go. We out.